Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, sir and ma'am. In this video, I would like to present about my proposal, which the title is Analyzing the Translation Techniques of Satirical Expressions on the Webtoon Sarimin from Indonesian into English. So, for my presentation, I will explain about my first chapter, the chapter 1 introduction, and the chapter 2 research methods. For the chapter 1 consists of background of the research, theoretical framework, review of the previous studies, research questions, objectives of the study, and scope of the study. And chapter 2 research methods discuss about source of data, data collection, and data analysis. First one is the background of the research. So there are several points that became the background of my research. So first is the main point, which is about the translating satirical expressions. So translating satirical expressions is considered as one of the translator's difficulties, hard tasks, and obstacles in translating because satirical expression has to be delivered equivalently or with the same nuances from source language to the target language. So the translators has to translate the satirical expression with the same meaning or delivered with the same interpretation and with the same nuances. And the next is because of the phenomenon of the using satirical expression in literary works, especially in online webcomics. And it is regarded as the way to convey the creative ideas from the author. And the using of satirical expression also used to deliver the thoughts of the author. And also the popularity of online webcomics, especially Webtoon platform, that nowadays many people enjoying and like reading online webcomics, especially the Webtoon platform one because it is very popular. And also about the research on this topic of my research, there are, based on my observations, there are only still few studies that are conducted on the analysis of translation of satirical expression and with the object of online webcomics. Therefore, there are many more research are required to do this topic, especially the translation of satirical expression with the object is Webtoon. And next is theoretical framework. So there are 8 parts or 8 topics that I will discuss in the theoretical framework section. So they are figurative language, satirical expressions, forms of satirical expression, translation of satirical expression, translation techniques, translation strategy for figurative language, and Webtoon. So figurative language is the main or the ground theory of satirical expressions because satirical expressions is part of figurative language. Figurative language itself has definition as the way to convey our feelings or thoughts by using certain words that contain special meaning and can be used in various situations, including satirical expressions. And in the generally, satirical expression is a form of communication style which is used to criticize, to mock, to entertain, to comment, or to ridicule an idea, a situation, or an individual. So satirical expression is also can be conveyed through figurative language because satirical expression is closely related with the context and with the situation, and it's usually use the certain words to deliver the satire effect. And the forms of satirical expression in my research, I use Abram's theory, 1999, about the types of figurative language. Abrams classified about 16 types of figurative language and supported by Simpson's 2003, which he argued that are several literary devices that can convey the satirical expressions such as irony, antithesis, paradox, and exaggeration. So, supported by this theory or by Simpson 2003. So, according to Abrams 1999 classification, uh, of all of his 16 types, there are 5 types or 5 forms of figurative language that can convey satirical expression, namely irony, sarcasm, antithesis, paradox, and hyperbole, Simpsons called as exaggeration. And next is about the translation. Here, the definition of translation, I take the main focus as the process of transferring meaning and by preserving, maintaining, and producing the closest equivalent meaning from such language to target language, which is very related with satirical expression itself. So, translation of satirical expression, the difficulties in translating satirical expression is because satirical expressions contains lots of nonsense, linguistic variations. Sometimes it also contains cultural aspect of the such language. So the translator has to preserve the original meaning of satirical expression and provide similar interpretation from such language to target language. Here is the example be from the search target from the search text. Be damn good thing we was George said viciously, save everybody hell a lot of trouble. And in the target text which translated into Indonesian, bagus kalau itu terjadi, kata George pedas, jadi berkurang masalah buat semua orang. Here I took it, I cited it from Najah research, which is he analyzed, they analyzed from the translator. This is the based on the translation by Arianti, and the underlined sentence contains satirical expression, especially sarcasm, because it intends to hurt the feelings of the intended person. So the speaker stated by saying that it is a good thing. Instead, it is actually means a bad thing for the intended speaker. And the translation techniques that it is used in this translation of satirical expressions of everybody have a lot of trouble. The translator used the modulation technique, which uh, it means that the translator changed the point of view from the original text to the target text, because the original meaning from the search text is have to be menjaga semua orang dari berbagai masalah, but the translator translated into jadi berkurang masalah buat semua orang. And next is the translation techniques. So in my research, I used the Molina and Albir 2002 theory about translation techniques, which consists of 18 types: adaptation, amplification, borrowing, cloak, compensation, description, discursive creation, established equivalent, generalization, linguistic amplification, linguistic compression, literal modulation, particularization, reduction, substitution, transposition, and variation. And I also use the translation strategy for figurative language in order to identify is translator or the Webtoon translator translate the satirical expression after the translator translate it remain as satirical expressions or not. And based on Larson 1998, there are 3 types of strategy. First one is the sense of the word may be translated non-figuratively. Second one, retaining the word in the original but to add the sense of the word. And the last one, substituting figurative expressions of the target language for the figurative expressions of the search language. Next is Webtoon. So Webtoon itself developed from South Korea, and it first called manhwa, or in Korea, it is popular as manhwa. And Webtoon basically consists of Webtoon originals and canvas. Webtoon originals are contains of the qualified webcomic that created by professional webtoonists. And for the canvas, it can be made by everyone who want to be a webtoonist. And in Webtoon, as it already become the largest application of webcomic, online webcomic, so it has been read by millions of people in the world and downloaded by millions of people of the world. So they also provide many translation into other languages, such as from Indonesian into English. And next is my previous studies. So there are 5 articles that I discussed in my previous studies. The first one is the translation techniques of sentences accommodating satirical language styles in the historical novels Bumi Manusia and Anak Semua Bangsa by Murdiati et al. 2021. So here, Murdiati analyzed the translation techniques of the sentence that contains satirical expressions in the 2 novels, namely Bumi Manusia and Anak Semua Bangsa, which use the theory of Kerap. And the second one is translating irony, translation strategies and techniques used by Polish translators of Pride and Prejudice by Zukwaska in 2021. Here, the author only focuses on analyzing the translation strategies and techniques of one type of satirical expression, namely irony, using the Polish language in the book of Pride and Prejudice. The third one is the impact of translation techniques on the accuracy of sarcasm expression in the television series The Big Bang Theory by Angoini et al. 2020. So they analyze the transition techniques, also the accuracy of also one type of satirical expression, namely sarcasm, and based on the television series, namely The Big Bang Theory. And also the fourth one is the analysis of translation techniques of irony and sarcasm in a novel entitled The Sign of the Four by Sukmanirum 2016. And here, Sukmanirum analyzed 2 types of satirical expression, namely irony and sarcasm. And they also analyzed the translation techniques that are used by the translator and translate the novel The Sign of the Four from English to Indonesian. And the last one is translation techniques of culture-specific items and translation ideology in the Sarimin Webtoon by Putri et al. 2023. So here, the object of Sarimin Webtoon has been already analyzed, but with different topic. Here, the researchers analyzed the translation techniques of the translation of cultural specific items and also the translation ideology. So it is different with my topic, but this research used the same object with my research. And the next is my research questions. So there are 2 of my research questions that are: what forms of satirical expression are used in the Webtoon Sarimin? What translation techniques are used in translating the Indonesian satirical expression in the Webtoon Sarimin into English? And the objective of the study is to examine the satirical expression and the translation techniques on the Webtoon entitled Sarimin from Indonesian into English. And the scope of the study. This study focuses on analyzing the season 1 of Webtoon Sarimin with a total 57 episodes using the classification forms of translation, the forms of satirical expression figurative language types by Abrams 1999 and the translation techniques theory based on Molina and Albir 2002. And the source of data of my research is the original webtoon in Indonesian entitled Sarimin, and it was created by Anissa Dia Baswedan, or knownly in webtoon, her name is Naga Terbang, or whose his pen name is Naga Terbang. And also the English translation of the webtoon entitled Tales of Sarimin the Jin. And it is need to know that each episode consists of panels. Panels is panel is a single drawing. So I have counted that approximately in this webtoon, the author create every episode with the amount of 50 until 70 panels. And a panel can contain bubbles, and the bubbles it shows the text or dialogue of the character. And a little explanation about the story of Webtoon Sarimin. So this webtoon has the genres are horror, comedy, and drama. And the main character of this webtoon is a jinn called Sarimin. So mainly the story is about a jinn who also seeks people to ask him for anything such as wealth, success, and even love. But then he will ask the sacrifice with the people who ask him as a source of his strength. And this webtoon also consists of stories of different people with different problems. So it were closely related with Indonesian beliefs uh, that people will ask jinn to provide everything for them. And for the data collections, here I use the purposive sampling to collect the data due to the population because there are not many of Indonesian webtoons that are translated into English, and the data that contains mostly satirical expressions based on my observation is webtoon anime. And steps that I use in collecting the data, of course, first is visiting the Webtoon application, then downloading the selected episodes, both from the Indonesian Webtoon and the English Webtoon. And the third is reads closely and identifies the satirical expression in search language. The last one is identifies and finds the data in the corresponding English translations of the Webtoon. Certain codes also will be applied in this data collection. For example, ST1 point E1 point P5 means that ST1 means search text 1, E1 means episode 1, and P5 means the fifth panel in the episode. And the similar cards will also use for the target text, which means that the example of this is the first data is from the search text uh, Indonesian, and it came from the episode 1, and the satirical expression contains in the fifth panel in the episode 1. And for the data analysis, I use the content analysis method because of the satirical expression itself is it has to identify and very related with the context with the situation. So we all just can identify the satirical expression based on the content. So we have to know about the story, about the plot, about the character, about the situation that happened in the story. And also the lastly findings will be tabulated and presented in descriptive statistics. That's all from me. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.